Hey YouTube, this is Primetime Pokemon. In this video, I'll be showing the 15 most competitive cards in the Ultra Prism set. So this video is geared towards competitive players of the TCG. I'll be doing my top 10 favorite cards from this set in a future video. So these cards are all very good in the competitive TCG, especially for the 2018 standard format. Now overall in the Ultra Prism set, there are a lot of Pokemon and trainer cards geared towards a metal type deck, so you'll see that pattern play out with these 15 cards. And I'll show all 15 cards at the end of this video with the rankings, but the 15th best card in the Ultra Prism set in my opinion would be Alolan Dugtrio. This is a metal type Pokemon, stage 1, only 60 HP, which is very low. But the card does just have one move called Gold Rush that does not require any energy to use. It says, discard any number of metal energy cards from your hand. This attack does 30 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So this card can really pack a punch for no energy at all. You can use something like Mount Coronet or Professor's Letters to get energy cards into your hand. And then this card can potentially take down something like a Garchomp GX in one move. So a very powerful Pokemon, especially a Pokemon that only has 60 HP. So really, you're going to get one knockout probably out of this card, and then it's going to be knocked out. But you can save this card on your bench and put it in the active Pokemon spot at any time. The 14th most competitive card in this set, in my opinion, would be Dialga GX. Now, this is a Dragon-type Pokemon, but it does require Metal-type energy when attacking. You see this card used a lot in a Dusk Necrozma GX deck. I'm using one on the online game right now. I'm building a deck around Dusk Necrozma. I have not included this card yet, but I can go through all three moves here. Overclock is very good early in a game. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. So it's similar to Cynthia from this set. Shred does 80 damage for 3 energy cards. And then Timeless GX really is a great GX attack. For 5 energy cards, Timeless GX does 150 damage. Plus, it says, take another turn after this one. So if you play this card correctly, you can knock out 2 Pokemon in 2 turns and take 4 prize cards. So if you're looking for a card that can quickly win a battle for you, definitely consider this Dialga GX. Now used with Solgaleo Prism Star and Magnezone from Ultra Prism, this card is pretty quick to set up, so those 5 energy cards will not be a problem. Attach a choice band to this card to do 180 damage with Timeless GX, then switch out Dialga GX during your next turn, the one right after this one, and then you can knock out another GX or EX card, therefore taking 4 total prize cards in 2 turns. So this is a great card overall. The 13th best card in this set would be Mount Coronet. This is a stadium card. It works well with metal type decks. It says, once during each player's turn, that player may put 2 metal energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. And with Dusk Necrozma, its Meteor Tempest move, you have to discard energy when you use that move. So then you can get those energy cards right back into your hand with Mount Coronet. So essential in a Dusk Necrozma GX deck. The 12th best card in my opinion would be Cyrus Prism Star. This is the second best Prism Star of the 6 in the set, and this is an error card. It should say you can't play this card if you don't have a water or a metal type Pokemon in your active Pokemon spot. But it says your opponent chooses 2 bench Pokemon and shuffles the others, and all cards attached to them into their deck. Now this can be very useful if the defending player has something like Garbodor or any other Pokemon that uses an ability from their bench. They're going to more than likely have to discard or remove those cards from their bench and put them back into their deck. So very useful, both with Dusk Necrozma or a Glaceon GX, 2 popular decks from this set. The 11th best card, in my opinion, would be Magearna. Now this is a rare non-holo, and mainly I like this card because of its ability, Change Clothes. It says, once during your turn you may put a Pokemon tool card attached to one of your Pokemon into your hand. Now this essentially can make any Pokemon in play retreat for free, or increase damage or HP. Popular tool cards out there would be Choice Band, Fighting Fury Belt, and Floatstone, and you can just move those around at will, so very important to today's meta game. Other than that, Rolling Attack isn't a great move, and then its HP of 90 is decent, but the card does have a low retreat cost, so you could always use something like Solgaleo Prism Star to spread energy around, put one on Magearna, and be able to retreat it for free if you do have it in the active Pokemon spot. Getting into the top 10 most competitive cards now. Number 10 would be Leafeon GX. This is the GX full art version, a beautiful looking card overall. But 3 great items on this card. Its ability is very good. Breath of the Leaves, it says, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, once during your turn, you may heal 50 damage from one of your Pokemon that has any energy attached to it. So that is essential in a deck that you're not using anything like Max Potion or Acerola. And then Solar Beam, for 2 energy cards essentially, does 110 damage, similar to what Sylveon GX can do. And then Grand Bloom GX says the following. For each of your bench basic Pokemon, search your deck for a card that evolves from that Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it. Then shuffle your deck. So if you are trying to build a deck around this Leafeon GX, a popular strategy would be to pair this card with both Zoroark GX and then Lurantis SM25. Lurantis has an ability on the card that increases a grass-type Pokemon's attacks by 30. So you can set up 1 Zoro on your bench and 3 Fomantis, then use Grand Bloom GX to evolve all of those Pokemon at once. And then Zoroark GX can draw cards each and every turn. And then if you have 3 Lurantis set up on your bench, Leafeon GX becomes a one-hit knockout attacker, being able to do 200 plus damage every single turn with Solar Beam. So that is the strategy behind this card. This card also has a great ability, but the main reason for this card would be to set up your Pokemon very quickly and then do more damage when attacking with Solar Beam. The 9th best card in this set would be Magnezone, and this is another card that I just used its ability on, Magnetic Circuit. It says, as often as you like during your turn, you may attach a Metal Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So the deck that I'm building right now, I use Dusk main Necrozma as the main attacker, and then I have Magnezone set up on the bench. I use a Rare Candy to quickly get to Magnezone, and then I use Professor's Letters and something like Mount Coronet to get energy cards into my hand. I really do not use Zap Cannon at all on this card, but it does do a fair amount of damage, and 150 HP for a Stage 2 isn't the highest, but it should survive a non-EX or GX attack at least one turn. But this is essential in any metal-type acceleration deck. The 8th best card in my opinion would be Palpad. Now this is an item, so you can use more than one item card per turn. It says, shuffle 2 supporter cards from your discard pile into your deck. Now, if you are trying to use multiple, maybe if you're trying to use a lot of special energy, or if you want to use one more Pokemon than normally that deck has, you could utilize something like a Palpad, shuffling those supporter cards that you only have 1 or 2 of back into your deck. Therefore, it makes it seem like you have more than the actual amount that you have of those supporter cards. And supporter cards are very, very popular in the TCG. Guzma is used all the time. Acerola is very popular. Things like that. Cynthia, Supporter N, Professor Sycamore, all of those are supporter cards. Palpad, very nice to increase the amount of those types of cards you have in your deck. Plus, you can discard those supporter cards knowing that you can retrieve those with Palpad, similar to what Rescue Stretcher does for Pokemon. The 7th best card in this set would be Solgaleo Prism Star. This is the best Prism Star in this set in my opinion. Very good in a metal type deck. 160 HP, which is excellent. You can make it 200 with a Fighting Fury Belt. Radiant Star is a great way to accelerate energy if you have abilities turned off either by yourself or your opponent. It says, for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play, attach a Metal Energy card from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. So potentially you could attach up to 6 energy at once with Radiant Star. And then Coronet Impact for 4 Metal Energy does 160 damage. However, this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. So you're going to have to use something like Guzma and then a Float Stone to reset Coronet Impact if you want to do 160 damage 2 turns in a row. But again, if abilities are turned off or prevented, you can always get around that by using Radiant Star to accelerate energy. The 6th best card in the Ultra Prism set would be Garchomp. Now this is one of 2 featured Pokemon with the Ultra Prism theme decks, and Royal Blaze is the move to use with this card. Also, note this card does have a free retreat cost. Quick Dive just does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for 1 double colorless energy, but Royal Blaze does 100 damage, plus if you play Cynthia from your hand during this turn, this attack does 100 more damage. So this card can do 200 plus damage a turn for only 2 energy cards. Now if you are building a deck around Garchomp and Lucario, try and use Garchomp from Breakpoint as well, just because you may face an enhanced hammer and then have the double colorless energy attached to this Garchomp discarded all the time. But I like that this card both has a free retreat cost and then can do major damage. And Cynthia is a very good supporter card and is used in most newly built decks out there. The 5th best card in my opinion would be Dusk Necrozma GX. Now this is essential in a metal type deck. It is a very powerful attacker. 2 great moves on this card. Meteor Tempest does 220 damage, but you must discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. And then Sun's Eclipse GX does 250 damage for only 3 metal energy. But you only can use this move if you have more prize cards left than your opponent. So ideally you set this card up on your bench, you let your opponent get 1 prize card, then you move this to the active Pokemon spot, use Sun's Eclipse GX first to knock out the defending Pokemon, then you use Meteor Tempest second, and then hopefully you have both Mount Coronet in play and then a Professor's Letter in your hand so you can recharge this card and attack again with Meteor Tempest. If not, you use Dusk Necrozma GX once, and then you put Solgaleo Prism Star into the active Pokemon spot and use its Radiant Star move. But this is one of the most powerful attackers out there, can easily take down things weak to Metal type Pokemon like Gardevoir GX or any Alolan Pokemon. The 4th best card in this set would be Lucario. Now this is a rare holo. It's also in the same theme deck that features Garchomp. This card is very good because of its ability Precognitive Aura. It says once during your turn, if you have Garchomp in play, you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So you can use this ability to go right after Cynthia, then you can use Cynthia and use Royal Blaze on Garchomp to do 200 plus damage per turn. So these 2 cards are essential to use together, Lucario and Garchomp. And then Missile Jab for 2 energy cards does 70 damage, which isn't bad, but the main reason you want to use this card is for its ability, another card that you can utilize from the bench, and this is even better than drawing 1 card per turn since you can go directly after the card you want in your deck. The 3rd best card in this set would be Glaceon GX. I think this is the best GX in this set. Its ability is the main reason you're going to want to build a deck around this card. Freezing Gaze says the following: as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX in play, in their hand and in their discard pile, have no abilities except for Freezing Gaze. So this prevents all of your opponent's Pokemon from using their abilities. It does nothing to your own Pokemon. So that's very useful. This card is paired with Zoroark GX quite a bit. And then of course it would prevent your opponent from using Zoroark GX to get more cards into their hand. And then Frost Bullet for 3 energy cards does 90 damage. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And then its GX attack, Polar Spear GX, for 3 energy cards does 50 damage times. This attack does 50 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So for the most part, anything with Glaceon GX in is going to be a 2-hit knockout deck. You're not going to be able to knock out a lot of Pokemon in one move with Glaceon GX, but its ability is very good. The 2nd best card in this set would be Empoleon. Now I am partial to water type Pokemon, that is my favorite type, but this card is very popular and it is featured in one of 2 theme decks from Ultra Prism. But the reason you want to use this card is for total command. For 2 energy cards, it says this attack does 20 damage for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So this can do 200 plus damage with full benches on both sides. So it can do major damage. And then Whirlpool for 3 energy cards does 90 damage. Plus it discards an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So you can have several Empoleon set up on your bench, and then that will increase the amount of damage total command does. Now this is a rare non-holo from the Ultra Prism set. I like Empoleon a bit more than Garchomp just because it is easier to do more damage with total command than with Royal Blades, but both are very good, and I will be reviewing both theme decks of Ultra Prism on my channel. I like both theme decks very well. In my opinion, the best card in the Ultra Prism set as far as competitive TCG goes would be Cynthia. This is a trainer card, a supporter. You only can use 1 supporter per turn. You can also pull a Cynthia full art from this set. This card is going to be very popular in future deck builds out there. It is an improvement over both Professor Sycamore and Supporter N. It says, shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. So as opposed to Professor Sycamore, where you have to discard your hand, or N, where you have to refresh your opponent's hand, this card just deals with your own hand. It is a great way to refresh your hand and get more cards into your hand. So this supporter card is the best supporter that has been released in a few sets. Now just a note here, Lily from this set, as well as Pokemon Fan Club, are a couple of other good supporter cards in this set. I didn't include those in this list just because they were available in previous 2018 standard format sets. But there are what I think are the top 15 most competitive cards in the Ultra Prism set. This is a great set overall. Definitely pick up some packs and start building some decks. If you're just getting into the TCG, Ultra Prism is the set to start with. So there you have it. If your opinion differs than mine on these 15 cards, please let me know. Or if I forgot some good cards that are good in the Ultra Prism set, let me know as well. So there you have it. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, before you go, check out all the links in the description of this video, including links to my blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. And stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.